My name is Marty Meierotto, and I work for the Alaska Fire Service, part of the BLM.
Marty Meierotto shocked many people when he suddenly left Mountain Men and stepped away from the spotlight. He is alive, healthy, and living quietly in Alaska after choosing family, privacy, and peace over fame. Fans still wonder why he walked away and what his life looks like now. What happened to Marty Meierotto? Why did he disappear from TV? What really happened to Marty Meierotto? Marty Meierotto became one of the most familiar faces on the show Mountain Men, so when he suddenly stopped appearing, many people began asking what truly happened to him. The direct answer is very clear. Marty is alive, healthy, safe, and living quietly in Alaska. Nothing dangerous happened to him. He did not experience any accident, illness, or major problem. He simply made a personal decision to step away from television in order to give more time and attention to his family. The choice was calm and deliberate, and it reflected the values he had always lived by. Marty officially left the show in the year 2020. He walked away at a time when he was still one of the most popular cast members. His exit did not come from conflict, disappointment, or any form of scandal. Instead, it came from a very thoughtful reason. His daughter Margaret was growing quickly, and he realized that the years ahead would be important for her. He did not want the cameras to follow her as she stepped into her teenage years. He felt that she deserved privacy, structure, and a normal life without constant filming or outside attention. This decision showed how deeply he valued his role as a father. Spending long periods in the wilderness and being away from home during filming was starting to take time away from Margaret's upbringing. Marty understood that he could always return to trapping or outdoor work, but he could never get back the early teenage years of his daughter's life. This realization became the turning point that made him step back from television and choose a quieter life. Marty also preferred a life without loud publicity. He never had an interest in social media, and he never chased attention. When he joined Mountain Men, it was not because he wanted fame. It was simply an opportunity to share a real lifestyle that he had already lived for decades. When he felt that filming no longer fit with his family goals, he did not hesitate to walk away. He believed that privacy and peace were worth more than staying on camera. His sudden exit surprised fans around the world because there was no major announcement or long explanation. He simply finished filming his scenes and did not return for the next season. Viewers expected him to come back since he had been a central figure on the show for 8 years. When he did not appear, people began searching online to find out whether something serious had happened to him. The lack of interviews made the mystery even stronger, as Marty did not give detailed public statements and he did not share updates on social platforms. For many fans, the absence of information created a sense of worry. People feared that he might be facing health issues or that something had gone wrong in the Alaskan wilderness. However, local reports from people who knew him confirmed that he was doing well. He continued to live the same lifestyle he had always enjoyed. He trapped, hunted, built, repaired equipment, flew his bush plane, and cared for his home and family. He simply lived without cameras, and he embraced the peace that came with it. Today, Marty continues to live the life that first made viewers admire him. He is still in Alaska, still loyal to the land and the wilderness, and still dedicated to his family. He spends more time at home and less time in front of filming crews. He maintains his privacy, and he does not plan to return to television. The calm, grounded personality he demonstrated on the show remains the same in his current life. His story raises important questions about fame, values, and personal choices. How did a man who lived quietly in the wilderness become one of the biggest stars on a hit television show? What experiences shaped him before the cameras arrived? And what made his background so compelling that viewers instantly connected with him? Also, how did a boy from the woods of Wisconsin grow into a skilled wilderness expert who would later inspire millions? The man behind the mystery. To understand Marty Meierotto's decisions as an adult, it is important to look at where he came from and the life that shaped his character. Marty was born and raised in northern Wisconsin, an area known for its cold winters, thick forests, and strong outdoor traditions. His childhood environment played a major role in developing his skills and preparing him for the rugged lifestyle he later chose in Alaska. Growing up in Wisconsin, Marty was surrounded by trees, lakes, and long winter seasons. The region encouraged outdoor living, and almost every family had some experience with hunting, fishing, or trapping. Marty's father played a key part in introducing him to the wilderness. From a very young age, he was taught how to handle basic outdoor tools, understand animal behavior, recognize seasonal changes, and respect the land. For many children, outdoor activities are occasional hobbies, but for Marty, they became a natural part of life. During his childhood, Marty spent countless hours outside, learning how to track animals, build small shelters, and stay safe during storms. His father's guidance helped him understand that survival in nature required patience, awareness, and practical knowledge. These early experiences formed the foundation of the calm and steady personality he became known for as an adult. He learned that the wilderness was not something to fear, but something to understand and live with. One important moment in his early life came during his teenage years. Marty went on a camping trip that changed the direction of his future. During that trip, he felt a deep desire to explore larger, wilder lands. The forests of Wisconsin were beautiful, but he imagined something even more challenging. He dreamed of vast, untouched land where survival depended fully on personal skill. This idea stayed with him, and it sparked the long-term goal of moving to Alaska one day. As he grew older, the dream became stronger. Alaska represented freedom, independence, and a chance to live away from crowded places. When he reached adulthood, he made a clear decision. He would leave Wisconsin and chase a new life in the far north. This was not an easy choice, but it showed the determination that would later define his life. Arriving in Alaska was a major turning point. The first years were not smooth. Marty faced harsh winters that were far colder than anything he had experienced in Wisconsin. He had to learn new weather patterns, new wildlife behavior, and new ways of traveling across frozen land. The remoteness was intense. Supplies were limited, neighbors were far away, and mistakes could be dangerous. Yet Marty adapted. Every challenge taught him something new. He studied the land carefully. He learned how rivers changed during different seasons, how snow depth affected travel, and how to predict weather before storms arrived. He also developed stronger trapping skills. Trapping in Alaska required knowledge of animal tracks, migration habits, and the right placement of equipment over long distances. Marty worked hard to understand these details, and he quickly became skilled in areas that many people never experience. As the years passed, he built a reputation as a reliable and intelligent trapper. He never exaggerated his experiences, and he did not seek attention. His quiet, hard-working personality became one of his strongest traits. People who knew him appreciated his honesty, dedication, and deep respect for the wilderness. These qualities later made him an excellent fit for television, even though he never intended to become a public figure. So, how did this quiet, skilled trapper, living deep in the Alaskan wilderness, catch the attention of television producers and eventually become one of the standout stars of Mountain Men? Marty's dangerous Alaska trapping career. Marty Meierotto built his entire adult life around one of the most demanding and dangerous occupations in the Alaskan wilderness. His work as a professional trapper required strength, skill, and constant awareness. Trapping in Alaska is not a part-time task or a light outdoor hobby. It is a full commitment that demands knowledge of land, weather, and wildlife. A trapper must travel long distances in the cold, read signs in the snow, set gear in the right locations, and check lines regularly. Everything must be done with precision because mistakes can lead to injury, lost equipment, or dangerous encounters with wild animals. Marty operated one of the most remote trapping lines in the region. His line was located roughly 200 miles from Fairbanks, far beyond roads, towns, or emergency help. This location placed him deep in the wilderness, where winter temperatures could drop far below freezing and storms could appear with little warning. Traveling to this line required more than physical strength. It required safe transportation that could cover long distances over frozen rivers, forests, and uneven land. This is where Marty's plane, the Piper PA-18 Super Cub, became essential. The Super Cub is a small, lightweight bush plane that performs well on short landings, uneven terrain, and narrow airstrips. It was the only way Marty could reach his cabin and trapping grounds. Without the plane, the journey would take days or even weeks on foot, which would be too demanding and unsafe. The plane allowed him to deliver supplies, check traps quickly, and escape dangerous weather when needed. However, using a bush plane in Alaska also brings its own risks. Engines can struggle in extreme cold, snow can reduce visibility, and landing on soft or uneven snow can cause accidents. One of the major threats Marty faced during trapping season was whiteout blizzards. A whiteout happens when snow, wind, and low clouds blend together and remove all visibility. The land, sky, and air become one bright, icy surface, making it hard to identify direction or safe landing spots. Pilots can easily lose orientation during these conditions. Marty had to watch weather signs closely and make careful decisions before taking off because flying into a whiteout could be deadly. Another danger involved traveling across frozen rivers and lakes. Ice collapses can happen when the thickness is inconsistent or when temperatures rise suddenly. Even experienced trappers can misjudge certain sections. Falling through ice in freezing temperatures can be life-threatening. Marty needed to test ice regularly and understand how cold patterns affect its strength. Wildlife also posed constant risks. Wolves, wolverines, and moose could appear unexpectedly. Although Marty respected animals and avoided unnecessary conflict, he had to stay alert at all times. A startled or protective animal can be unpredictable. Trappers in remote areas carry tools and follow routines that reduce these dangers, but the wilderness can always surprise even the most prepared person. Mechanical failures added another layer of difficulty. When equipment broke, Marty had no repair shops or nearby help. Everything had to be fixed alone using basic tools. This included repairs to his snow machines, sleds, traps, and even parts of his plane. The smallest issue could delay his work or force him to stay longer in the cold. These challenges demanded creativity and patience. Marty became known for solving problems quickly, even in harsh weather. At the center of his trapping line was his remote cabin. This cabin served as his shelter, storage space, and workspace during long periods in the wilderness. He built and maintained it himself, making sure it stayed strong during heavy snow, strong winds, and shifting temperatures. The cabin was small, simple, and practical. It stored essential supplies such as food, fuel, tools, and emergency gear. Marty stayed in this cabin for weeks at a time while checking his traps and covering long distances on foot or by sled. Life alone in the cabin required discipline and mental strength. Marty had to ration food, manage fuel, and keep the cabin warm during frigid nights. He cooked simple meals, melted snow for water, and planned each day based on weather conditions. Even with minimal supplies, he worked efficiently by focusing on what was necessary. This routine demanded organization and focus because forgetting a tool or losing track of time could ruin the entire trip. This challenging lifestyle became one of the reasons he was chosen for television. His work was real, his skills were genuine, and his daily life demonstrated strength, intelligence, and calmness. Many people cannot imagine living for weeks in isolation surrounded by snow and cold, relying only on personal skill. Marty did it with confidence, discipline, and experience. His ability to manage danger, fix problems alone, and survive extreme conditions made him an ideal subject for a show that aimed to highlight real wilderness living. With such a powerful foundation in survival and trapping, how did a quiet, hard-working man from the remote Alaskan wilderness become a standout television star watched by millions around the world? Marty on Mountain Men. Marty Meierotto's rise on the television show. Mountain Men began in the year 2012 when producers were searching for real individuals who lived in remote areas and depended on practical survival skills. They were not looking for actors or personalities created for entertainment. They wanted people who lived genuine wilderness lifestyles every day. When they learned about Marty's trapping line, his plane, and his intense yearly routine in Alaska, they immediately recognized that he represented exactly what the show needed. Marty stood out because he was a real survivalist. He lived off the land long before any cameras arrived. He did not need to create dramatic scenes or exaggerate his routines. Everything he did was authentic. He traveled through deep snow, maintained his cabin, fixed his equipment, and managed a trapping line that demanded full commitment. Producers knew that viewers would respect someone who demonstrated real skill instead of staged behavior. Marty matched that goal perfectly. When filming began in the first season, producers were amazed by how naturally he moved through the wilderness. He did not hesitate or struggle with basic tasks. He understood the land and weather with the experience of someone who had lived through many winters. His earliest scenes showed him flying his Super Cub, checking traps in freezing temperatures and preparing for long stretches away from home. These moments were simple but powerful. Audiences quickly recognized his confidence and calm approach to difficult conditions. The reaction from viewers was immediate. People admired his honest work and quiet strength. Many believed that Marty represented the true spirit of Alaska. He did not talk loudly or try to impress anyone. Instead, he focused on solving problems, staying safe, and completing his tasks. This calm behavior made him different from other television personalities who depended on drama to keep attention. Marty gained trust because everything he did was practical, direct, and grounded in real experience. Throughout his time on the show, several memorable moments helped shape his reputation. One example was when he had to move quickly to escape a raging wildfire threatening his trapping area. Alaska experiences fast-moving fires during certain seasons, and Marty reacted with clear thinking and careful planning. He gathered essential supplies, secured his equipment, and flew out before conditions became too dangerous. Viewers saw how quickly he could make life-saving decisions. Another standout moment involved repairing critical gear during a heavy storm. Wilderness equipment often breaks at the worst times, and Marty had to fix what he had without a workshop or outside help. He remained focused despite the snow, wind, and freezing temperatures. This showed how prepared he was to handle unpredictable problems. Flying in dangerous weather also became a strong part of his television identity. The Super Cub allowed him to reach remote areas, but flying in Alaska can be unpredictable. Rapid storms, strong winds, and low visibility require experience and caution. Marty demonstrated both. His flying scenes gave viewers a closer look at the reality of Alaskan bushwork, where one mistake can turn into a serious emergency. His calm personality became one of his strongest qualities on the show. Viewers felt safe watching him because he understood what he was doing. Trust became a major reason for his growing popularity. Fans believed him because he never acted for attention. His life was already challenging enough, and he allowed the cameras to show his real routines. This honesty separated him from other cast members who sometimes worked in less extreme environments. Marty's trapping line, flying schedule, and remote cabin created genuine tension and interest, and fans appreciated the truth behind his work. As the seasons continued, Marty's presence remained strong. Many people watched the show specifically to see how he would handle new challenges. His combination of experience, calmness, and authentic wilderness living made him one of the central figures of the series. So, what made him step away from such a successful television career at a time when millions of people admired him? Why Marty really left the show? Marty Meierotto's departure from the show surprised many people because he had been one of the most respected and most trusted cast members. For many years, viewers watched him face freezing winds, long flights over dangerous wilderness, and intense work on his remote trapping line. His skills, steady personality, and deep respect for the land made him a strong part of the program. When he chose to leave, fans wanted to understand what happened and why someone so dedicated decided to step away from the spotlight. The truth is not dramatic, not mysterious, and not connected to danger. It was rooted in something very personal: his family. The biggest reason Marty left was his daughter, Margaret. As she grew older, she entered a stage where privacy and stability mattered more than anything. Marty understood how media attention could affect teenagers. He had lived through years of cameras following his routine, capturing almost every moment of his working life and showing these scenes to millions of people. He did not want the same attention to spill into his daughter's world, especially during the years when she needed space and calm support from her family. Marty had always believed that family should come first. Filming the show required strict schedules, long days, and many weeks away from home. Even though he worked hard to balance everything, he realized that each season pulled him away from important moments. His daughter was entering new stages of life, and he wanted to be fully present. Marty knew these years would only happen once. He understood that being a reliable father mattered more than being on national television, even if the show had helped him share his lifestyle with the world. The filming schedule also created pressure that did not exist in his normal routine. Marty was used to working alone in the wilderness, following nature's timing instead of a production calendar. Television required scenes, travel arrangements, interviews, and deadlines. These things were not negative, but they changed the rhythm of his life. After many years on the show, he realized he preferred to return to a quieter lifestyle where the only schedule he needed to follow was the one set by the land, the weather, and his personal responsibilities. Another important factor was Marty's natural preference for privacy. Long before he joined television, he was known in Alaska as a skilled trapper who kept to himself, worked quietly, and lived simply. Fame never defined him. Even during the height of the show, he did not act like a celebrity. He did not build a public social media presence. He did not attend large promotional events. His calm personality matched his love for a life without outside attention. Leaving the show allowed him to return to the level of quiet he valued most. When Marty announced his departure, he did it respectfully. There was no conflict with the crew. There were no problems with the network. He appreciated the team and they respected him in return. His goodbye was calm, thoughtful, and honest. He explained that it was time to step back so he could focus on his daughter and his home life. Fans reacted strongly. Some were shocked because they had expected him to continue for many more seasons. Others felt sad because he had become one of the most authentic personalities on the show. A few people wondered if he left because of danger, accidents, or health problems. Those rumors were false. Marty was healthy, active, and still working on his land. The truth was simple. His family mattered more than fame, and he chose the path that kept them close and protected. With Marty stepping away from television to protect his privacy and support his daughter, what new experiences would shape the next chapter of his life after the cameras turned off? Marty's life today. After leaving the show, Marty Meierotto did not disappear. He simply returned to the life he always valued, a quiet, steady routine in Alaska, far from attention and free from the pressure of filming. His life today reflects the same strength, skill, and independence that made him so admired. The difference is that now he lives it on his own terms, with more time for his family and more control over his schedule. Marty still lives in Alaska, and he continues the activities that have defined his life for many decades. Trapping remains an important part of his routine. He follows traditional practices, respects the land, and uses his expert knowledge to maintain a balanced relationship with the environment. Trapping is not only a job for him, it is a way of life that connects him to the wilderness and the skills he learned as a young man. Hunting also continues to play a role in his life. He does it responsibly and for practical purposes, following the seasons and respecting local regulations. His ability to move through the forest, read animal signs, and survive in difficult conditions remains strong. These skills are not for show, but for real use, just as they have always been. Marty still protects his land with dedication. Alaska can be unpredictable, and land management requires constant work. He clears brush, maintains structures, watches the weather, and keeps track of wildlife patterns. His knowledge of the region helps him prevent problems before they grow. He approaches every task with care, understanding how each small action affects the surrounding environment. Flying continues to be a major part of his life. He still uses his bush plane, the Piper PA-18 Super Cub, for travel across the wilderness. For Marty, flying is not a hobby. It is essential transportation in a region where roads do not reach every location. He maintains his plane carefully and flies with the same caution and skill he demonstrated for many years. Marty now spends more time with his family, especially at home. This has become one of the most important parts of his life. Without the pressure of filming schedules, he can enjoy ordinary days, meaningful conversations, and quiet moments that were harder to find before. This balance allows him to support his daughter and stay close during her important years. From time to time, Marty appears at small trapping events. These are not large publicity gatherings. They are simple, community-centered meetings where experienced people share knowledge, tools, and stories about Alaska's traditional skills. Marty attends because he values the trapping community and the history behind the craft, not because he wants attention. Marty continues to choose privacy over fame. He does not use social media, he does not promote himself, and he does not seek interviews. Locals who see him from time to time say he is healthy, active, and content. He enjoys his peaceful life, follows his routines, and remains deeply connected to the land he has always loved. People often wonder if he will ever return to television. Based on his actions and his values, it is unlikely. The legacy of Marty Meierotto. Marty stands as one of the clearest examples of real wilderness survival. Everything he did, trapping, flying his bush plane, living alone in dangerous conditions, maintaining his remote cabin, and navigating unpredictable Alaskan weather, was based on genuine skill. These tasks were part of his life long before cameras arrived, and they remain part of his life today. He did not perform for an audience. He simply allowed viewers to witness what he already knew how to do. His calm approach to danger, his steady movements, and his deep understanding of the land showed the world what a real outdoorsman looks like. His influence on the show he joined is one of the strongest elements of his legacy. In the early seasons, he helped shape the tone and direction of the entire program. The producers wanted authenticity, and Marty delivered it without forcing anything. He proved that real skills were more powerful than staged drama. Viewers connected with his routine because it felt honest and educational. His scenes taught people about weather patterns, animal behavior, flight safety, equipment maintenance, and the careful planning required to work in the Alaskan wild. This level of accuracy raised the quality of the show and became a standard that other cast members followed. Fans admire Marty for reasons that go far beyond his survival skills. Many respect his integrity. He did not exaggerate situations or try to impress anyone. He simply completed the tasks necessary for his work. His independence also inspired viewers. He lived far away from urban life, relied on his own abilities, and accepted the challenges that came with living in remote areas. His devotion to family became even more admired when he chose to leave television to protect his daughter's privacy and give her a stable environment during her teenage years. This decision showed that his values were stronger than fame, and many people saw it as an example of genuine character. His exit from the show became an important part of his legacy. It served as a quiet statement about priorities. Fame can be exciting, but it cannot replace meaningful time with family or the need for a peaceful, private life. Marty's choice reminded viewers that personal values last longer than public attention. He did not announce dramatic reasons or seek sympathy. He left because it was right for him and his family. That simple decision gained even more respect from fans who valued his honesty. One reason people still ask what happened to Marty Meierotto is the sudden nature of his disappearance from television. He had been a central figure for many seasons, and viewers expected him to continue. His calm personality and reliable presence made him feel like a permanent part of the show. When he stepped away, the change felt abrupt. He did not fade out slowly or leave clues. He exited with clarity, and then he returned to his life without public updates. This sudden shift created curiosity that still exists today. Another reason the question continues is Marty's private nature. He does not post on social media. He does not give regular interviews. He does not try to stay in the spotlight. As a result, updates about him come from rare sightings, local reports, or small community events. This lack of public communication creates mystery, but it also reinforces who he is. Marty was always more interested in living quietly than being famous. His private lifestyle keeps him from becoming overexposed, and it makes people appreciate him even more. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.